joined here for the national webinar on nurturing gratitude among youth. On behalf of Kasturba College for Women, I extend a sincere welcome to our director, Mr. P.T. Rudragaud, Directorate of Higher Education, Government of Puducherry. Welcome you, sir. It's my privilege to welcome our principal, Dr. Shallan Shivan, who have been instrumental in organizing this webinar. Welcome you, ma'am. On behalf of Kasturba College, I welcome the resource person, Dr. M. Suresh Kumar, Head Department of Psychology, American College. Welcome you, sir. I extend my welcome to all the teaching faculty, research assistants, students, counselors, and my dear colleagues who have joined here. Let me take a few moments to introduce Mr. P.T. Rudragaud, who is a native of Bellary, Karnataka, joined Puducherry Civil Service in 2001. Sir has rendered his expert knowledge and service in various departments, including Department of Revenue, Department of Election, Department of Science and Technology, Rural Development, Local Administration, and Directorate of School Education. Sir has tremendously contributed to Central Admission Committee, Government of Puducherry. Mr. Rudragaud now holds additional charge as Director, Directorate of Higher Education since 2001, March 2001. Sir, we are honored and privileged to work under your able guidance and administration. Sir, may I now request you to deliver keynote address.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, and I welcome Professor Suresh Kumar for this webinar, Nurturing Gratitude Among Youth. I also congratulate the team who have organized this webinar. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Your presentation is visible too. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, nurturing gratitude among youth. So, what is gratitude? I think most of you know. So, I need not explain. I'm not an expert like you in psychology. So, gratitude, simple dictionary definition is being thankful or returning kindness and all. So that you know. So, so generally we expect people to show gratitude, and gratitude is more relevant now in times of COVID, where people are expected to show gratitude to others and who are in need of help and all. So this is general thing. It need not be related to COVID situation alone. Otherwise also a person is expected, a human being is expected to show gratitude. How do you nurture or practice gratitude? Any framework is there? So we'll just try to look. This is basically my conception, my conceptualization. You may or may not agree with that. So I propose that yoga is a very good framework, one of the good framework for nurturing gratitude or practicing gratitude. Yeah, you heard right. I am saying yoga. So you may think how yoga is related to psychology. I'll just try to explain. I'm also not an expert in yoga, but I'll try to explain whatever I understood. So I'll ask a basic question. What is yoga? So any idea what is yoga? What do you two understand as yoga? So most of us understand yoga as yogasana, but that is not the truth. Yogasana is one part of the yoga. Yoga philosophically it means that uniting with the divine or the supernatural, or whatever you call. So that is the purpose of yoga, they say. But otherwise, yoga is not mere yogasanas. What we understand yoga, majority of us understand yoga is yogasana. Yogasana is not yoga. It is one part of the yoga. So we'll talk a little more about it and how you can nurture or practice gratitude with some of it. And in psychology, what do you study? Basically, you will be studying more about mind and how mind functions and how it affects behavior and all. So one of the first sutras of Yoga Sutra. So Yoga Sutra, I have heard about it. Patanjali Maharshi has written Yoga Sutras. Patanjali Yoga Sutras it is called. So in that he says Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So he has written in Sanskrit couple of thousands of years back. Maybe they date it as maybe some 2 to 3,000 years back he has written. So what do you mean? What do you understand? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta means mind. So mind doesn't keep quiet. So it will be having some thoughts or some other functions. So that he calls as a vritti. So he explains what are the different types of vritti. That is, we are not going to discuss about it because we are focusing on nurturing or practicing gratitude among the youth. So he says mind will have always some fluctuations or modulations. Through yoga, you can prevent that and achieve stillness. Nirodha means prevent. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That's what he says. So what do you focus in psychology is basically trying to understand mind, how it functions, how it impacts our behavior, and how you can regulate. So this is one, in fact, one of the things in yoga. And I'm not sure whether psychology, they study about Yoga Sutras and all. If not, I strongly feel and believe that Yoga Sutra should be studied to understand how few thousand years back he has conceptualized the various functions of mind and how it can be regulated or stillness can be achieved. So Patanjali speaks about Ashtanga Yoga. Ashta means 8, Anga means limbs. 8 limbs of yoga, we'll just look at it. So these are the 8 limbs of yoga spoken by Patanjali Maharshi. So it will start with yamas, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. That is the final stage of achievement. So we'll be focusing on yamas and niyama. So asana is one which I was referring to, which is yogasanas. Most of us understand yoga as yogasana only, but yoga is ashtanga. That means 8 limbs are there in yoga, 8 divisions are there, which one has to understand and practice for doing yoga. So, but usually we confuse or we restrict ourselves with 2 yogasana. So I'll be focusing on yamas and niyamas a little bit regarding gratitude. So what are yamas? So yamas are moral codes, what an individual should practice or what he should not do it. So ahimsa, that is, he says ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. So these are the 5 yamas Patanjali Maharshi has specified, non-violence or non-harming. So how does it relate to gratitude? By not doing harm to someone, you will be showing gratitude. So gratitude doesn't mean only giving something. Not harming somebody is also gratitude. Sometimes we may harm somebody, knowingly or unknowingly. So non-harming also is a gratitude. So by that way you can show. Truthfulness. So by speaking truth or by not telling the falsity to someone also you can practice gratitude. Non-stealing, asteya means non-stealing. So sometimes we steal. Stealing is not only like theft. So sometimes we may not be deserving, but somebody else may be deserving. We may be taking it out. So that is also like stealing. So by not doing that also you can be grateful to someone. Brahmacharya or celibacy, that is one thing. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. This is also important. When does gratitude come? When you share something with someone else. So if you are possessive of something, you cannot share it also. You'll be too much possessed with that object or thing. So you'll not be able to share. So for gratitude, you should have aparigraha, non-possessiveness. That means you should not say that everything is mine. So something can be shared with others. So these are all the qualities which one can practice. So this should be as a framework or a foundation through which one can practice gratitude or nurture gratitude as part of upbringing. So next is niyama, that is personal disciplines. So niyamas again he says what are the different types of niyamas: shaucha, santosha, tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. So Shaucha means cleanliness of mind and body. So everyone talks about hand washing, sanitizer, using sanitizer, all those things now because of COVID. So prior to that also we were just focusing on Swachh Bharat, hand washing techniques, all those things. So you imagine a person who has spoken about Shaucha 2 to 3,000 years back. So he speaks not only about cleanliness of mind but also of body. So both. So cleanliness of body and mind. So he has spoken about Shaucha long back. So now how do you express gratitude? So if you are COVID positive, by not meeting others or by not spreading, so you can practice gratitude. So Shaucha is one of the important qualities he has mentioned as part of Niyamas. Santosha or contentment. So unless a person is content, you will not be sharing. So everything will be, greediness will be there. Aparigraha and Santosha are related. So Santosha is being content with whatever you have. So if you are not content, you will not be sharing or you will not be showing gratitude. Tapa means perseverance. So it need not be like going and doing penance in forest and all. It is perseverance. That means you have to stick to something and practice it. So without getting affected by the results. Another thing is swadhyaya or self-study or introspection. You have to introspect yourself to understand more about yourself and how your modulations are there, how you can correct, what are good thoughts, good affirmations, positive affirmations, what are the negative things which are going on in your mind, how you can regulate, how you can affirm more positive thoughts. So that and all can be done only through swadhyaya. So understanding oneself through introspection. Next is Ishvara Pranidhana. So Ishvara means here he is not referring to Lord Shiva. So Ishvara means something supreme or divine. So contemplation of the supreme. So that and all like a person should have some devotion. Then only will be able to devotion will with the devotion will come some fear, all those things for moral values and all. So he says Ishvara Pranidhana is also important. So contemplation of the supreme or the divine. So leaving aside some of our regular thing because we'll be lost in our regular life activities. So at times you need to focus on thinking beyond your normal things, and as part of it only you can also practice gratitude. So this is what I thought I can share. Some of you may not agree with what I have shared. So yoga is a framework for practicing gratitude or nurturing gratitude. That's what I thought. But I still feel that it's a good approach to focus and learn on. So I wish the organizers that this webinar will be quite successful, and I wish the resource person will be giving very good information and his experiences to all to ponder upon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bhuvneshwari ma'am, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable introduction and the connection between yoga, gratitude, and psychology. Definitely, there is a scientific evidence in psychology that yoga has an impact on the mental health, improvement in the promotion of mental health. There are so many research studies, sir. I assure you, sir, we understood the basic link between yoga and gratitude, and we will definitely able to take it forward, sir. Thank you once again, sir, for joining the inaugural session in spite of your busy schedule. It's my honor to say a few words about our principal, Dr. Sharlan Shivan. She was awarded PhD in English Literature from Pondicherry University. Ma'am has worked as part-time lecturer in Tagore College. She has worked in principal in College of Education. Ma'am joined as principal in Government of Puducherry in 2010. Having worked in College of Education and in various arts and science colleges, she's a very good teacher, an able administrator. She's an expert in human resource development, expert in infrastructure development of the college, getting NAC accreditation status. Also, she has an inclination towards protecting the environment. The faculty and students of Kasturba College are blessed to have Dr. Shellan Shivan as principal. Ma'am, may I request you to deliver presidential address?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Dr. Bhuvaneshwari, for those very kind words. A very good morning to you, Tirupati Rudra Gaud, our Director of Higher and Technical Education. We are extremely happy to have you with us here, sir, and I thank you for that wonderful presentation. You have made us aware of another aspect of gratitude, and also thank you for going into such great detail. I'm sure whether people agree with it or not, there is something that we can all take away from it. So thank you very much, sir, for spending your time with us and giving us your inaugural address. I thank Dr. M. Suresh Kumar for agreeing to be the resource person for today's webinar. I thank Dr. Bhuvaneshwari and Mr. Suresh from Kasturba College for organizing this. I'm saying thank you at the beginning because I think we need at this point also to say how grateful we are to have this platform and to be able to reach out to so many people. With this having been said, I thank the participants for registering in great numbers. They are both from India and from Pakistan. I welcome you to this webinar, and I hope it's a very fruitful, enlightening webinar, and that each of us benefits from this. It's because we decided on this topic because we often find that gratitude is lacking among us and in the youth. We very often forget to count the many blessings that we have. We forget to notice the silver lining in that cloud that hangs over us. And developing this feeling of gratitude and being able to express it does wonders for our own mental health. At the same time, it spreads this ripple effect of kindness, which apart from helping us also helps the society at large. So I thank you all for being a part of it. We have an expert here today who will share his views, his valuable views, and views that are not personal but views that have stood the test of time. So I thank you all for being with us, and without further ado, I request Dr. M. Suresh Kumar to take over the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all your support. Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Suresh, Assistant Professor of Psychology, coordinator of this webinar, to introduce the resource person.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Dr. Suresh, please unmute yourself.
Sir, you can remove your headphone and then you can speak, sir. There may be issue in your headphone.
Dr. Bhuvaneshwari, may I suggest that we start with the session, and then when we conclude, Dr. Suresh from our college can, introduce.
Yes.
I'm sorry for this, a bit of a disturbance, Suresh Kumar, sir.
It's okay, ma'am. It's okay.
Yes.
Yes. Can I take the session, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Very good morning to all, and I'm really happy to be here to share my learning and experience with you. Before begin my presentation, I would like to record my sincere gratitude to the director. I think he made an amazing presentation, the different perspective of yoga and how we can utilize the way of life for our gratitude practice. Amazing, sir. I thought that whether you are not going to give a speech for me to the content which I have prepared, almost the important points which I have presented, and even Principal Ma'am also made the few strategies we can adopt for gratitude, and also the current status, the update about the current generation, how they are having opinion about gratitude also said by Ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am. I also record my sincere gratitude to the principal, the head of the department, coordinator, faculties, and all the participants. Thank you for being here. And I assure you that I'm definitely, these inputs will be helpful for you. There are many of us, we know that what he is going to say. What are the questions we will have in our mind. One is how it is different from the information what we know. That is the one thing. And what is the benefit out of it? Why people are not practicing gratitude? And the practice, what we are doing is exactly the gratitude or not. So I'm going to give answer for these questions in my presentation. And before getting into the topic, I would like to give on one important thing. As we all know that we are having two types of emotions. Two types of emotion. One is a positive emotion and another one is negative emotions. Negative emotions are predominantly we are aware about it. For example, when you look at my face itself, we can able to find out what kind of emotion I'm experiencing, whether it is fear, worry, anger, we can able to distinguish. Even the kids also having the ability. But when it comes to the positive emotion, if I ask you, can you list out the number of positive emotions? We are not having that as much as knowledge about the positive emotions. We may say happiness, joyfulness, these were the things we are aware about it. But a researcher, Barbara Fredrickson, she has done a research for 3 decades, and she found that there are 10 core positive emotions. 10 core positive emotions. Among the 10 core positive emotions, there is one emotion is mother of all the positive emotions. That is gratitude. So with that brief introduction, I would like to get into my presentation. What are the other names we are aware about gratitude? What are the other synonyms we are generally we may hear from friends or family members or from the faculties? Acknowledgement. If you writing a dissertation, mostly they may aware about it. When we do something, we acknowledge them. I receive the help from the particular person. We are giving due recognition to that person and appreciating something. If I found that the today's presentation from that special letters, president's letters, generally they will say that greeting to the organizers, generally, most of the time. But that effort they put on giving additional inputs for the topic, it is an appreciating. We have to do that. And also that attempt made by the coordinators and the principal ma'am given the right word, appreciated the coordinators. So that is the quality of gratitude and grace. What are the blessings we are having? That we have to count it. And great gratefulness, the praising, saying that what are the good qualities other persons are having, recognition, requital, responsiveness, and thankfulness. These were the common terms. We are aware about it. When we ask the layman or a person who may not having much awareness about gratitude, if we ask them what do you mean by gratitude, and they will say that the gratitude is thankful to the other person. When we receive some help from other members, we thank them. So that is the thing they believe that is gratitude. But it is beyond that. What is? So there is a person called Robert Emmons, and who has done a research on gratitude, and he come up with, other than the thankful to other members, he said that we have to recognize what are the good qualities we are having in our life. We have to recognize, okay, these are my blessings. And the pandemic period, there are many people who are affected with COVID-19. I am blessed. I'm not having any kind of problem at all. So we have to recognize that what are the blessings we are having. We have to count that. And second part of gratitude is we have to acknowledge and appreciate good thing in yourself and others. And when we ask these points, I think many of us are not aware about it. And that is also important component of gratitude. Gratitude not only saying thank you, and it involves appreciating, acknowledging that the good qualities. For example, if I look at that some person who is wearing a good dress, we have to say that you are looking good. That also comes under gratitude. So I given the clarity about the research inputs regarding that gratitude. Gratitude has two components. One is about recognize what are the blessings what we are having. Second one is we have to acknowledge and appreciate the good qualities in ourselves and others. These are the 2 points. And then there is a question. Why we have to nurture gratitude among the youth? As we are aware that the most youngest country in the world is in India. When we take that nearly 40% of people fall under the category youth. And when we say something, what is the benefit out of it? The first question you will get it from them. If I do something, what is the benefit I will get it from that? Most of the time, the people who are make an attempt to say particular content, they are focusing the importance at the end. So I'm going to make it another few slides, a few points. I'm going to make you understand what are the benefits out of practicing gratitude. So when we know that, oh, these are the benefits are there, then we will know what are the strategy I can adapt. So that is the way we have to start it. So I'm going to let you know that what are the benefit or importance of gratitude. As we human beings are longing for happiness and we are chasing or running towards happiness. There is a simplest way is that the studies were proven that a person who is practicing gratitude in their life, merely practicing gratitude in their life, that increases their happiness by 25%. We have conducted among 2,300 samples, and they found that it increases 25% by merely practicing gratitude. The easiest way we can able to get it without spending any money. And during this period, as we all know that almost all the leaders of the countries and World Health Organization and UNICEF and UNESCO also, they said that the first wave, it gives much impact on the health components. The second wave, that gives impact on the economic component. And third wave, it's going to be a disaster for that mental health component. And if you are not taking appropriate measures right now, and definitely almost we are going to have many kind of mental health problem at later stages. Many of us, we are having the myth that when we have the mental health problem, it is because of the particular moment. No, it is because the distress we had and many few more years back, what we had, that will be outbursted later stages. That we have to understand that. And mental health professionals right now, when the person coming for counseling or say therapy, they will ask them, tell me about your sleep. Sleep, and how much time you are spending for your sleep. And the first symptom itself we can able to find out. If the person having the problem in the sleep, that means the person having the mental health problem. And the studies were proven that before going to bed, okay, we are going to take a sleep. During that time, you can remember that who are all helped you in your life and recognize what are the blessings you had on that day and appreciate other members. If you can do the text and then you can go on bed, and that will increase and improve your sleep pattern. And the people who are practicing gratitude every day and the sleep qualities are better when compared to the people who are not expressing gratitude. It's an amazing finding. And there is one more finding related to the health component. So what are the health benefit I will get it by using gratitude part. And the person who are practicing gratitude on regular basis, the studies were proven that the blood pressure, it may be high and low, that problem will not be there in a person, and they will not prone to that heart-related problems. Heart-related problems will be very less a person who practicing consistent gratitude. And there are, when you Google it in the YouTube, there are many exercises you can find out for your healthy heart functions. Don't do that. You can merely practice gratitude. That is an amazing thing you can do for your heart. And right now we all human beings are giving priority and importance to that immune system, immunity. And if you take the survey of before pandemic and after pandemic, and almost all the people, even literate or illiterate people, they are aware about that immunity is one of the things we needed to counter any kind of external bodies, antibodies, the viruses. Okay, so immune can be boosted. Generally, what we know that vitamin C. Vitamin C is a source for immunity. And here, there are studies that proven that a person who are regularly practicing gratitude and their count of white blood cells and immune systems are better than the people who are not practicing gratitude. It's amazing, amazing study. And these studies were reported in Japanese researchers. And here is another thing: the people who are practicing gratitude, they are having that less pain, and they are having that good pain tolerance level. And I'll give one example. The studies were carried out. In a hospital, there are two set of patients were admitted, and one set of people they were asked to practice gratitude, and another set of people they were not given. They are do as it is what they want to do that, and they noticed that there is a change in their behavior pattern, and they reported to that medical professionals and supporting members. They said that we are having that they are more cooperative nature. One is when the people who are expressing gratitude, they are more good in relationships. Second one is they are having the tolerance level for the pain is more, and they are quickly recover from the illness. And the people who are not done so, and it is just opposite, and they spend a lot of days and they are not cooperative with the medical professionals, and the pain resistance and tolerance level also comes down. So when you want to tolerate, and we all know that the natural artificial way of countering that pain is on painkillers. And diclofenac, it is a common medicine you will take. Rather than joint pain, muscle pain is there, they will give the diclofenac or amitriptyline. Diclofenac will be there. It is an artificial way, it can stimulating the particular hormone, endorphin. The natural way is when we do the exercise. In a natural way, when we do the exercise, endorphin will be secreted. There is another way, emotional way, when you want to cultivate, when you want to stimulate that secretion of endorphin, when you practice gratitude, your endorphin level will be optimum level. And that is needed for your better health. And many people are isolated by themselves during this pandemic period, and the lockdown has made them to be there in their houses. They are not supposed to be out. People who are more grateful are more generous and compassionate, and they feel more grateful about other members, and they are socially interacting with other members. They are volunteering for other members. That's good for them. And you look at the face of the people who are having more friends, and the people who are not having the friends circle. And if they are lonely, and the people with that other members, we can see the changes. And gratitude, I will give one more example here. For example, I am the person, I received a help from you. If I'm not expressing my gratitude, if I'm not appreciating the other person, if I'm not acknowledging the person something, what he has done, and the person will not give priority to me the next time. So when we practice gratitude in our daily relationship, and that will ensure we will become more social, and that will kill that loneliness. And another thing, grateful people are more forgiving in nature. They easily forgive others. And there is one more question: why we have to forgive? If I hold the fire in my hand, okay, if I'm under grudge about something in my hand, it will not hurt other members. It will hurt me only. If I throw it, if I leave it, and then I can feel comfortable. And the people who are practicing gratitude, they forgive others very easily, very quickly. So that is another benefit out of it. And they are more outgoing in nature. Gratitude. People are more outgoing in nature, and that is needed of the hour, and that will ensure that quality. And they may not feel that loneliness and isolated. Sometimes even in the crowd, or maybe in a house, they feel very lonely, and loneliness is the space for the devil's playground. And when you are lonely, and there are many unwanted negative thoughts will come. That's why when you look at the philosophers' view, they say that what kind of thoughts coming in your mind, that you will become. So during this time, and negative thoughts, generally the studies were told that when we are lonely and isolated, almost all the negative thoughts will come in up. And to avoid those things, we have to be socialized with other members. That is very needed. And grateful people are more resilient, as I said earlier also. They are having that more pain resilience, likewise in any kind of adversities. They have that hope that I will come out from the problem. And that assurance the people will have that. And grateful people manage that the daily stress and other anxiety components very easily. For example, work-related stress or academic stress. Every one of us, we are having that stress. Grateful people, they are having that better coping mechanism than anybody else to manage these problems. And one more outcome of practicing gratitude is that increases productivity. It may be an academic or it may be on workplaces. They found that there are these many benefits are there when you are practicing gratitude. So there are a number of benefits, I can say that. When we aware about these are the benefits when we are practicing gratitude, and we will seeking answer for the question, how I can practice gratitude. Okay. And 81% of people, they said that they are more grateful. Their hardworking people are more grateful for the organization and for the things. And in generally, in overall summary of that, what are the benefits? Quickly, I will let you know that improves our physical health. It improves our sleep quality. It improves our psychological health. The person understands others' emotions and feelings. That increases empathy. That improves the relationship. It reduces aggression and irritability among the people. More social connection we can find in a person. It enhances self-esteem and it improves mental stamina, resilience. So these are the benefit out of that. Okay, when we know the benefit, what we'll do the next? We want to know that what are the practices we can take up for practicing gratitude. So I will let you know. So what are the things you can adapt? Some of the people you may already doing this gratitude practice, you can continue. And the people who are not aware about it, you can do this practice. What is the first one step? The first strategy is we have to keep on gratitude journal. Gratitude journal is like writing a diary. See, the particular day, today I'm grateful for whom? They have to write it. Okay, I'm grateful for so and so for the particular thing. And I appreciate and acknowledge that the recognition I received from other members, we have to record it. Why we have to do so? And I will give one case study here. As you all know that in Christianity, there are people who are practicing nun. When they become a sister, they have to go for a rigorous training. When they're going for rigorous training, and they were asked to write their daily experiences in their diary. They have to ask to write their experience in the diary. And there are, it was recorded and it was placed in a particular place. After a few years, another person who come for administration, they asked what are the documents are here, and the person who are keeping the records, archives, they told that, and these are the information we collected, what kind of experience they had when they came here the training. So after 30 years, the record were taken from the archives, and they analyzed the report which was given by that nuns. They found that whoever written that grateful experiences on the particular day, they recognize what a blessing they had. And if they appreciate the teacher, appreciate other members, and these kind of words, if they written in the diary, and those people were alive. And the longevity means that lifespan of the persons are very high. Those are practicing gratitude. On the other hand, there are people who complain about the particular day, and those people, almost 80% of people are not alive. One thing. And second one is, even there, they are in a different superior position, and they are not friendly to the other members, to the subordinates. So these were the input they found that. So being grateful increases our longevity, and the people who are reported only the positive experience in the gratitude record, they are more charmful and then more pleasant to the subordinate. The people who are working under them, they like to work there. So there are proven case studies are there. When we practicing, when we look at that, there are many things are there, many things, good and bad things are there. You have to focus on the positive side, and we have to record those components. That is very important in gratitude, keeping the gratitude channel. What other things you can do that? When you are writing that thing, what are the learning you made from that particular experiences? Okay, what do you expect from tomorrow? What are the optimistic thoughts you are having? And these things you have to write it. And what are the people who are thankful for you? And what is the best component of the particular day? And how you felt? And these information you have to record it. You can take at least 10 minutes of time for writing this gratitude. It's the best way you can develop gratitude practice. And another one is, and you are not, some people are say that, no, I'm not having such a time. I'm not fond of writing that comment to other members. What you can do that, you can just write a note, thank you note to the members. Write a mail message to them. Thank you for that help that you rendered to me. And that also help you. And there is another strategy you can adapt. And many of us, we miss to recognize that nature what we had. And nowadays, when the people are saying that the people are not having that adequate level of oxygen, now the people are realizing that importance of nature. And there are statistics we are getting to know from the scientists saying that a single tree are producing more oxygen than nearly 30 oxygen cylinders. So yeah, that importance we come to know that. So now if we have that natural component surrounding us, we have to preserve those things and we have to enjoy with that particular thing. That also comes under gratitude. When you preserve for yourself and making it for available for other members, you are doing gratitude practice. And that is another thing. And you can say that when you plant a tree, after 30 years, and you can say that, and that tree was, I still remember one of the person in my village. And he used to plant trees almost all the roadsides. And we wonder why this man is doing at the age of 60 plus, he used to plant the tree. But now the person is no more. When you look at my Google map in my village, Singulam, that is the name of my village, when you Google it, and you can find out my village is fully covered with greens. But the nearby villages are not, we can find out it is on plain. So such an impact he made, but the person is not available here. So, that whatever the things available, we can make it to comfortable to other members to serve that and making useful to that other members. That is also comes under gratitude. And another thing, this is the time there are many frontline workers and COVID warriors are there, and we have to appreciate them. At least when you meet somebody else, instead of holding them, you can say them, thank you for the service you are rendering for the people. And that will also one of the gratitude practice. When for example, I can say that there are a person is there, when you go and say that thank you, and look at their face, what kind of reactions you are getting from them. On the other hand, when you look at the people, say, go and get. When we say that something unpleasant word to the person, we can find out that there is a change in their reaction. So you can choose that there are two options, good and bad. So what you will select? Generally, when you go for any kind of purchase, you will go for good thing only. Same here, in front of the good things are there. You can use that particular words to recognize the frontline workers. And the next one is gratitude jar. It is an amazing thing. What we can do in gratitude jar, we can take like this kind of what you can get it in 5 rupees or 10 rupees. Okay, I can give examples. What is the benefit I got it from gratitude jar? Also, I would like to share here. What you can do that. If it is in a college or somewhere in a function or it's a family greeting, all the members you can take this kind of papers. It will come around 10 to 15 rupees. Okay, you can write what you haven't, what are the good things in a person, what are the things you want to appreciate about the person. You can write in a brief and then put it in that. You can put it in the jar. For example, annual day, teacher's day, and you can use it. Go and get it. We can use it for any kind of festivals and any kind of anniversaries. We can use these things. And when you make it and give it to the person, and they will realize that, okay, these many appreciations I'm having, they will count their blessings. And I really benefited because of gratitude jar. We had on one of the annual day where we used this gratitude jar, and the administrator of my institution, given the due recognition, he appreciated a lot. So I personally believe that. Okay, and if it is on less numbers, okay, if there are only very special members are there, what you can do that you can take a feeble. Okay, you can take a feeble and then you can, crayons will be there, you can and you can write it, for example, you are so important to me, you are very, you made my day, you are mattered to me a lot, and you made me to smile, and you are, thank you for making me to understand. Express your gratitude and then give it to them. Nothing much cost for that. In roadside also we can able to get it. Roadside also we can able to get it. But the cost for these things is very less. And I still remember when I was doing at Rajiv Gandhi National Institute at Sriperumbudur, where I received a stone from my co-worker, and still I'm holding. Whenever I look at that stone, I remember her name only. is there in my working table, and that you can make it when the people, they will recognize the process. So that we can make it. And otherwise, if it is on family birthday or a small number of people are there, what we can do is that we can prepare a gratitude tree. And almost we are saying that certain institutions are very famous for quality education. When you look at this, the particular institution, we can find out that there is a gratitude wall. There is a gratitude wall will be there. In the wall, they will go and write it. Okay, and every day that the wall will be changed, and they will go there. For example, for the principal, you can make it in a particular day. On a particular day, all the members and students, they have to write what are the good thing, appreciation about the principal. They have to write it and then they have to paste it. Or if there is a family birthday, all the family members, we can do the writing and then place it and make it for remembrance. And that is another way you can also practice gratitude. And there are certain people who are good at writing that gratitude journal. Yes, you can follow that. Whatever you comfortable with that, you can just practice every day. That is the thing. As I said, we are having that 28 plus benefit out of practicing gratitude. And the beginning itself, I said, why the youth are not practicing gratitude? Because they were not given that proper way. What are the benefits out of their practicing? We have to inform them when they know that these are the benefits and they will practice. And gratitude is very, very, very useful thing in everyday morning or where whenever is possible, you can try these things. I'm grateful for 3 things I hear. You may hear a lot of things in a day. And you can say that I'm grateful for these 3 things. I'm grateful for 3 things I see. I'm grateful for 3 things I smell. So you can write it in there. When you do that, you will give an, these many benefits you got it. When you give an answer for this, you will understand that, these many benefits we got it. That kind of awful experience will get it. And I'm grateful for 3 things I feel and touch. I'm grateful for the 3 things I taste. And I'm grateful for the 3 of my friends. I'm grateful for 3 things for my family members and for your home and for your relationship. You can write whatever you feel more comfortable. And when you do that, you are switching over your thought to that positive side instead of dragging to the negative side. As I said, people are having that the thought process. If it is a positive thought process, we'll be good at it. And if it is a negative thought process, that will lead to anxiety, and anxiety leads to stress. When the person are consistent stress, their cortisol level will be very high. It is one of the hormone we can find out in our blood. If the cortisol level are very high or optimum level beyond the limit, and we can find out the people's immune system will be destroyed. That's why there are doctors or psychiatrists are insisting that during this pandemic period, when the person come to know that the person is on COVID-19 positive, they have to understand that they have to be free from the fear. Okay. And what are the other strategies they can take up for practicing gratitude? They can do the gratitude flower, where they can prepare, for example, if it is on birthday in our family members, who is the father, mother, or children, they can write it and then put it and then they give a flower. And they value that work which the person has done. And there is one more thing. If it is an official, we can write in gratitude letter or email in a brief and a colorful way we can write it. And that will make them, they will understand that there are 40 members are in an organization and one person writing gratitude letter or email, and the administrator and the supervisor, the leaders will understand, okay, this is the person who appreciated me. And whenever they want to support, they will give prayer to that person. So we can practice gratitude. And college students are more creative, and youths are more creative, and adolescents are more creative, and we can engage them for preparing gratitude collage. And when they do that, and they engage themselves for in a productive way, and also they are more creative in nature. We can understand, okay, these are the way the people are more creative. And the youngsters, especially youth, are more fond of using these things. We can, as I said, every day we have to practice. Whenever possible, we can do this kind of practice. And one more thing, identify one thing in a person and appreciate it. And every day, for example, if I look at that Dr. Suresh sir and Bhuvaneshwari ma'am, and I can say that they are making on even this crisis time, pandemic time, they made on systemic. They have to appreciate one thing. In the next day, you have to do that. when you do these things, and they will come to know that, okay, these many ways we can able to grateful to other members, acknowledge other members, recognize other members. That understanding will come to know that. And when we look at that, when we ask them to find out mistakes of other person, we are having that loads and numbers of things. We people were trained and focused on that negative thing rather than the positive side. And gratitude is a positive emotion. We can focus on that. As I said in the beginning itself, it is the mother of all the positive emotions. When you want to control all other emotions, you have to be take the role of mother. When you do that, other children will come and follow the mother. It is the easiest way we can follow all the 10 positive emotions when we practice gratitude. And naturally, every person will love the flowers. Okay, you can give that paper flowers, you can make it, or you can maybe natural flower. When you give them, you are recognizing you are grateful to the particular person. So with that, I can stop here. I hope this information is useful for you. If you have any inputs, compliments, or questions are there with you, you can please let me know. I will try to answer your questions. I thank the organizers, and the director, the principal ma'am, the HOD Bhuvaneshwari ma'am, the coordinator, Dr. Suresh sir, and all other faculty members and participants. Once again, thank you for listening my words, my inputs here. Thank you so much. Ma'am, over to you, ma'am. Bhuvaneshwari ma'am.
Sir, it was a very great presentation, and it was very crisp and clear. What are the ways in which the youth can nurture their gratitude? It was very clear, sir. And I request the participants, if you have any doubts or clarifications, or if you want to add some more points, you can very
Thank you, Chalabhu sir. And I can see there are, dear participant, if you have any questions related to the presentation, you can ask me, and then I will support that. Even if you want to know more case studies, I would like to share with you. The research studies also, if you want to relate to any kind of benefit out of practicing gratitude, you can let me know. I will answer your questions. Thank you, Dr. Sudhaman, Dr. Tamil Selvan, sir.
Yes, sir. I have a doubt, sir. Like during this COVID, everybody will think like, why should I thank? Ivlo duro, we are we are in a difficult situation. We are all suffering. In this situation, it is very difficult for us to be thankful. Everyone can
Yes, I understand.
channelize this part, sir.
Very true, ma'am. I think your question is there in almost all persons' mind. I see we are in a crisis time, and why we have to be thankful? It is a thing, it is there in almost all the person's mind. I will tell you. For example, if you are not thankful, if you are, what kind of benefit you will get it? If you are not thankful, you will not get any benefit at all. But when we know that when we are thankful and grateful for the particular situation, and we will get these many benefits, why don't we do that? And that is the thing we have to understand that crisis time, we may have that hopelessness or numbness we may have towards that society, government, or politics, and friends, and other things. But this is the time we have to be more optimistic, more grateful. And when we do so, and we are moving towards that positivity, and we can counter that many kind of mental health problem. And I will give one example here now. And there are one of the study we all know that Anna O is a very classical case study. Almost all the persons who are in the field of psychology, they may aware about it, even psychiatry, psychiatric social work. And she is the one who had a migraine, and she had many pain, and she cannot able to move particular body part. And she was approached many medical practitioners, and they analyzed her, and they come to know that, and she's not having any problem at all. So that is the point they given to her. When she went to Sigmund Freud, and he noticed that he made and bring it that particular traumatic experience to the conscious mind. See, when we are doing the grateful, as I said, forgiveness, forgiveness. That is, there are some traumatic experiences we had. We are not forgiving the particular person who caused for that particular distress we had. It may be on cognitive or emotional. When we bring it to our conscious mind by doing the forgiving, and we can able to overcome the problem at hand. And this is the time we are having a lot of time for that. We have to use that time productively for our welfare, not for others. I hope I given the answer, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, I understood. Ma'am, Prasanna, would you like to have any questions? Okay, sir.
Thank you, Nageshwari. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr.
We
Sudha.
just missed the introduction part of our resource person. Suresh sir, can you just say a
Yes,
few
ma'am.
words about the resource person?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
See, good.
Sir, actually, we are happy to hear with you, sir. First of all, thank you, sir,
Thank you.
for presenting a wonderful presentation, sir. I want to share about our resource person to all, sir. So, Dr. Suresh Kumar is a passionate professor and a researcher and mental health practitioner from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, India. At present, he is handling the PG Department of Psychology, the American College, Madurai. He is a very keen in research studies and open to learn. His ultimate aim to make an impression in the field of knowledge. His area of specialization are psychometric, psychotherapy, positive psychology, education psychology, cognitive psychology, cyber psychology, etc. He has published 30 journals articles, 550 conference and seminar proceedings, organized 500 webinars, and act as a resource person for 175 plus webinars sessions, received 4 awards and delivered 25 plus radio talks, qualified UGC NET in psychology and education, CTE test twice clear passed. He published 3 books also. So we are happy to present here, sir, and we are thanks to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
And also, yes, sir, yes, sir. And also, I want to Mr. P.T. Rudra Gowda, sir, Director of Higher and Technical Education, Government of Puducherry. And I like to thanks to our principal, ma'am, to supporting to conduct this wonderful webinar. Dr. Shirley and Selvan, College for Women, Villanur. And also, I really give thanks to Dr. Bhuvneshwari, ma'am, Head Department of Psychology, Kasturiba College for Women, Villanur. And thanks to all participants who are actively participating in this webinar session.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your support. We will be in contact in future also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for that amazing opportunity. I'm really happy to be sharing my bit of learning, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Of all the participants, I extend my thanks for your support and for your valuable presence here. Thank you once again. Thank you.